In this video, we're going to look at changing between fractions, decimals and percentages. Now there's many ways in which we can change between them depending on what they give you in the question. Depends on what you're going to need to do. So we're going to look at all these different things and I'm going to put a little instructions underneath these titles and some examples underneath them all. Okay, so decimals to fractions, we're looking to match the decimal places out with the number of zeros we have underneath the fraction. So we've got one decimal place, we give you 1 0, which would be out of 10, two decimal places, 2 zeros, so it's out of 100, three decimal places would be 3 zeros, so that's out of 1,000. Some examples we're going to do down here. So we've got one decimal place, which means we've got the number, which is 4, and we say it's out of 10, and that's done. Next one, we've got two decimal places, which means we know we've got 56, and it's out of 100. And next one, we've got three decimal places, which would give us 1 out of 1,000, and that's finished off. Okay, so decimals, percentages, we simply multiply the decimal by 100. So in this case here, we've got 0.4, we're going to multiply it by 100, meaning the decimal place is going to move once, twice. Okay, so it moves once over the 4, once over a blank space, so that blank space is filled with a 0. So that gives us an answer of 40% as a percentage. This one, we're going to multiply by 100 again. This time we jump once over the 5, once over the 6, leaving us with 56%. Bottom one again, multiply by 100. We jump over the 0, to multiply by the 100, leaving us with 0.1%. Okay, so percentages to fractions, we're going to put them out of 100. Remember, percent means out of 100. So if we're going to change this, we've got 25 out of 100, which we can write as 25 out of 100, and that's done. Next one, we've got 1 out of 100, so 1 out of 100. And last one, we've got 37 out of 100, so 37 out of 100. So remember, percent means out of 100, and that's how we change them over. In the same way as we know that percentages to fractions, you're just putting it out of 100, we also need to remember that this out of line means divide, which takes us over to the percentages to decimals. We just divide by 100. So we've got 25, we're going to divide that by 100. This time the decimal place is moving from there where we have it, but we don't write it, twice over the two numbers, leaving us with 0.25. Next one, divide that one by 100. This time we're jumping over the 1, jumping over something that's not there, so we need to replace that with a 0, leaving us with 0.01. And last time, divide by 100 gives us once over the 7, once over the 3, 0.37 there. Going on to fractions to percentages, we multiply each of them by 100. So really similar to the decimals to percentages, fractions to percentages, we multiply by 100 as well. So if I multiply this by 100, we can do something here where we are cross multiplying, so we're going to be dividing that through. This line means divided by 10. We can say that 10 goes into 100 10 times, leaving us with 4 times 10 is equal to 40%. Next one, we multiply this by 100. This time the 100 and the 100 cancel each other out to leave you with 56 times by 1, which is 56%. And this one, multiply that by 100. This time this one goes into itself once, goes into this one 10 times, leaving you with 1 out of 10, which we're going to go on then to change this fraction into a decimal up here. Fractions to decimals, we're going to do the bus stop division, which means we're saying the 1 is being divided by 10. So with our bus stop, we've got 1 is being divided by 10. Now don't let this put you off, because this works in exactly the same way as normal division. We're going to say that 10 doesn't go into 1, so we've got a 0. We've reached the end, which means we need to introduce a decimal point. Now, after the decimal point, we can put zeros forever without it changing the value of something. Now this, I like to say, as a pound being written like that is equal to a pound being written like that. Exactly the same value, we just got some zeros on the end, but it doesn't change the value of what you had originally. So we didn't use the 1 here, which means we're going to put that there. The 10 goes into the 10 once. We don't need these zeros this time because we're just going to have zeros on the end there, so that gives us a 0.1. So the answer down here is going to be 0.1%. Another example, we've got 1/8, which we want to change into a decimal, so we're saying the 1 is being divided by 8. So you're going to get our bus stop ready. We've got 1 is divided by 8. 8 doesn't go into 1, so we've got a 0 there. Introduce a decimal point because we reached the end. So we're going to say we've got 1 0 there. 8 goes into 10 once with 2 left over. Another 0 introduced. 8 goes into 20 twice with 4 left over. Another 0 introduced. 8 goes into 40 5 times. Nothing left over, which means we've got 0.125 as our decimal. I'm going to pop some questions up for you to have a try. Remember to press pause. Okay, so we've got 1 decimal place, which gives us our fraction as 4 out of 10. So 1 decimal place, 1 0 out of 10. Decimal is as it is. Percentage, we need to multiply by 100 to get an answer. So 0.4 multiplied by 100 gives you 40%. Over here, we've got 45 out of 100 to give us our fraction. The decimal, we need to divide by the 100, giving us 0.45, and the percentage is as it is. Hope this helps with your homework. Thank you for watching.